What if I told you that motivation is not something you find, it's something you build in your darkest moments? Let me ask you one simple question before we begin. What truly drives you to succeed when no one is watching? I didn't always believe in motivational stories. For a long time, I thought they were just nice words, temporary sparks that faded the moment real life hit. I believed motivation was for lucky people, for those who already had confidence, support, or resources. I was wrong, painfully wrong, and that realization didn't come easily. It came through failure, silence, and a deep conversation with myself that I couldn't escape. There was a time when I woke up every morning with a heavy chest, not because I was physically tired, but because I felt directionless. I had dreams, yes, but they felt distant, almost mocking me. I would tell myself, one day I'll change my life. Yet every day looked exactly the same as the last. Fear of failure sat quietly beside me, whispering reasons to delay action. Self-doubt followed me everywhere, reminding me of past mistakes, convincing me that trying again would only lead to more disappointment. Maybe you know this feeling. You want more from life, but something inside keeps holding you back. You scroll through success stories, watch motivational videos, and for a few minutes you feel inspired. But then reality crashes in. Bills, responsibilities, expectations, and that inner voice that says, "Who do you think you are?" This is where my real motivational story begins. Not with success, but with struggle. I remember one particular night clearly. It was late, the room was silent, and my phone screen glowed with reminders of everyone else's progress. Friends moving forward, people my age achieving things I only dreamed of. That night, I didn't feel jealous. I felt empty. I asked myself a question that changed everything. If nothing changes, will I be okay living this same life 5 years from now? The answer scared me. No, I wouldn't. But fear alone doesn't create motivation. Fear can paralyze just as easily as it can push you forward. What truly challenged me was understanding why I felt stuck. I realized I wasn't afraid of hard work. I was afraid of failing publicly, afraid of being judged, afraid that if I gave my best and still failed, I would have no excuses left. This is one of the biggest challenges people face in staying motivated. Fear of failure mixed with self-doubt. We delay action because not trying feels safer than trying and failing. We call it waiting for the right time, but deep down, it's fear wearing a polite mask. I started noticing how this fear showed up in my daily life. I would plan big goals but never commit fully. I would start projects with excitement, then quit quietly when things became uncomfortable. I told myself stories like, "I'm not ready yet," or "I'll start when things are more stable." In reality, I was protecting my ego. One day, I came across a simple line that hit me hard. "You don't lack motivation, you lack clarity and courage." That sentence stayed with me. I began to understand that motivation isn't a constant feeling. It's not something you wake up with every day. Motivation is a decision you make, especially on days when you don't feel like moving at all. It's choosing discipline over comfort, purpose over excuses. Around that time, I heard a story from someone who had failed more times than I could count. They talked openly about rejection, loss, and humiliation. What stood out wasn't their success, it was their honesty. They said, "I stopped waiting to feel motivated. I started acting because I was tired of staying the same." That sentence became a mirror for me. I asked myself, what if I stop waiting? What if I act even when I feel unprepared? So I did something small, but intentional. I committed to one habit that moved me closer to the person I wanted to become. It wasn't dramatic. No overnight transformation. Just one daily action, repeated even when I felt tired, bored, or doubtful. At first, it felt pointless. Results were invisible, and this is where most people quit. We live in a world addicted to instant results, but real change works quietly. Growth happens when no one is clapping for you. Weeks passed, then months. Slowly, something inside me shifted. My confidence didn't come from success. It came from consistency. Every small promise I kept to myself became evidence that I could be trusted. And with that trust, motivation grew stronger. But the journey wasn't smooth. There were setbacks that tested everything I believed. Moments when old fears returned louder than before. Times when progress felt meaningless. I remember failing at something I truly cared about and feeling that familiar urge to give up. That voice returned. See, you tried, and you still failed. This was the moment that truly defined my story. Instead of quitting, I sat with that failure. I didn't distract myself. I didn't blame circumstances or people. I asked one powerful question: what is this trying to teach me? For the first time, failure wasn't my enemy, it was my teacher. I realized motivation deepens when you stop running from discomfort. When you accept that pain, mistakes, and setbacks are part of the process, not signs to stop. That's when resilience is born. I started reframing my story. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," I said, "I'm not there yet." Instead of "I failed," I said, "I learned." Words matter because they shape how we see ourselves. This shift didn't make life easier, but it made me stronger. And then came the turning point, the moment that changed my perspective forever. There was a moment, quiet, almost ordinary, that became the climax of my motivational story. No applause, no dramatic background music. Just a simple realization that rewired how I saw myself and my future. I was looking back at my past journal entries, old notes filled with doubts, complaints, and excuses. And I noticed something shocking. The person who wrote those words was still alive in me, but no longer in control. I had changed, not because everything worked out, but because I refused to quit on myself. That's when it hit me. Motivation isn't about feeling powerful. It's about refusing to give up when you feel powerless. The advice that transformed my perspective was simple but brutal. Take responsibility for your life, even when it's unfair. Not blame, responsibility. Blame keeps you comfortable. Responsibility forces you to grow. From that day, I stopped asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and started asking, "What can I do with what I have right now?" That shift alone unlocked a new level of resilience. I stopped comparing my chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. I focused on progress, not perfection. And something unexpected happened. My story started inspiring others, not because it was extraordinary, but because it was real. People connected with the honesty, the struggle, the imperfect journey. I realized that motivational stories don't need to be about fame or success. They need to be about truth. Everyone has a motivational story. Some are loud, some are silent, some are still being written. Maybe your story is about surviving when giving up felt easier. Maybe it's about starting again after everyone thought you were done. Maybe it's about choosing yourself after years of self-neglect. Your struggles are not weaknesses. They are proof that you are still fighting. As I look back now, I understand that motivation grows when you give your pain a purpose. When you stop hiding your story and start owning it. When you realize that your journey, messy, slow, and is proof of your strength and personal growth. Imperfect is exactly what someone else needs to hear. If you're feeling stuck right now, let me tell you this clearly. You are not broken. You are becoming. And becoming is uncomfortable by nature. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the next honest step. Motivation will meet you there. So let me ask you again, now with deeper meaning. It's not about how impressive it sounds. It's about how true it is. Share it, own it, learn from it, and let it remind you that no matter where you are today, you still have the power to choose growth. Today, we explored the power of motivational stories. The struggles, the doubts, the turning points, and the resilience that shapes who we become. Your story matters because it holds lessons, strength, and hope. Not just for you, but for others too. Now it's your turn. Share your motivational story in the comments. Your struggles, your lessons, your victories. And if this story inspired you, check out another one of our videos and continue your journey toward growth, confidence, and purpose. Your story might be the motivation someone else is waiting for.